They thought you were weak, didn't they? They thought the cracks they left in you would leak your soul out drop by drop until you were just empty. But you didn't break. You signed the contract in their blood. They called it betrayal. You called it business. They called it cruelty. You called it closure. Because when they came to ruin you, they didn't realize they were handing you blueprints. You see, pain was never your punishment. It was your promotion. They built the fire to burn you, but you studied the smoke, learned its pattern, its rhythm, its scent. And when it rose, you didn't choke. You inhaled. You became the fire's author, the scriptwriter of your own destruction. And that's where the real magic began. You didn't beg for mercy. You audited the damage. You didn't ask for fairness. You calculated the interest. You turned suffering into spreadsheets, every scar, an asset, every heartbreak, a clause. And when it was over, you didn't cry. You signed the deal with their guilt as ink. Now they watch you with that haunted look, the one people get when the ghost they buried starts walking again. Only this time, the ghost doesn't just haunt. It invoices. They can't stand that you became methodical about your healing. That you didn't scream, didn't post, didn't crumble. You structured your silence like strategy. You turned your breakdown into a business model. You learned the art of the psychological refund, giving people back exactly what they gave you, with interest. They tried to shatter you, and you turned the shards into mirrors. Now everywhere they look, they see their reflection cut in 1,000 sharp truths. You're not angry anymore, are you? That's what scares them most. Because anger means they still own your attention, but indifference is bankruptcy. And you, my friend, filed the paperwork in style. You became your own attorney in the court of chaos. You stood there smiling, silent, dangerous, and the jury was their conscience. You didn't shout your revenge. You outsourced it to karma, to time, to consequence. See, the ones who underestimated you forgot one thing. Some people burn bridges. You built a company that sells the ashes. And oh, how poetic it is, isn't it? The same mouths that called you heartless now whisper that you're unstoppable. The same hands that threw stones are now building fences around you. They want your forgiveness now. But forgiveness is expensive. And you no longer trade in emotions, you trade in results. You learn to speak the language of detachment fluently, every silence a full paragraph, every smirk a final signature. You realized you didn't need to scream your story. You became the headline. They see it now, that cold calm that frightens people more than rage ever could, because they thought you'd return as a victim. But you came back as a brand. And your logo? They're lessons in red ink. You don't chase validation anymore, you invoice it. You don't seek revenge, you own the rights to it. They tried to shatter you, but you made the deal of a lifetime. You didn't just survive the betrayal, you capitalized on it. And now, every breath you take is profit. Every step you make is return on investment. So when they come crawling back, trembling, regretful, desperate for the version of you that still believed in sorry, look them in the eyes and let the silence say everything. You wanted a monster? You funded one because you don't heal by forgetting. You heal by profiting off the pain. And now, you're not the broken one anymore. You're the CEO of your own rebirth, and their guilt, that's your dividend. They thought your pain was their power. They thought if they could twist the knife deep enough, you'd stay on your knees long enough for them to feel tall again. But pain, oh pain, was never their victory. It was your curriculum. They thought they were hurting you, but really, they were training you. Every insult was a free seminar, every betrayal a scholarship. Every time they left you bleeding, you took notes, and one day, you cashed in every lesson with interest. You learned how silence could scream louder than rage, how absence could sting sharper than words. And when you stopped chasing closure, you became the thing they couldn't define, couldn't manipulate, couldn't kill. You didn't survive the fire, you merged with it. They tried to shatter you, but you picked up the pieces and used them as currency. You sold your story to yourself, exclusive rights, full ownership, and you rewrote the ending. Now every scar is a clause in your contract. Every heartbreak is an amendment that says, never again. They can't understand it, how you came back colder, quieter, more deliberate. How your smile doesn't reach your eyes anymore because it doesn't need to. Your smile isn't for warmth now. It's for warning. They see you in public, calm, dressed in control, and they whisper, what happened to them? You happened. You upgraded. You stopped being emotional capital in other people's chaos. You went from victim of betrayal to broker of vengeance. And not the petty kind, the elegant kind. The kind that doesn't make a sound, doesn't raise a voice. The kind that ruins reputations with restraint. Because you learned something they never will, that true revenge isn't fury. It's flawless execution. They threw you out of their world thinking you'd disappear. But you built an empire in exile. Brick by bloody brick. And when it was done, when the walls were high and your eyes were steady, you didn't knock on their door for validation. You sent a thank you note that read, without your betrayal, I'd still be asleep. They thought they created a villain. But villains crave attention. You became something far more terrifying, a quiet success story. You see, power isn't in proving them wrong. Power is in not needing to prove anything at all. You moved past revenge into something cleaner, colder control. That's why they fear you now. Because they can't read you anymore. They can't bait you. They can't break you. Your silence became sacred. Your detachment became doctrine. You don't react, you calculate. You don't chase, you charge. Every conversation is a transaction now. Every smile has terms and conditions. Every handshake comes with a hidden clause. Don't waste my time. You learned that emotional investment is a currency, and you stopped lending to people with bad credit. You raised the price of your presence until only those who've earned it can afford it. You stopped giving discounts to people who never deserved free access. And that's the real horror for them, isn't it? That you finally priced them out of your peace. They say, you've changed. Number, you collected your respect, collected your worth, collected every broken promise and turned it into profit. You no longer live for validation, you live for clarity. You don't need to be liked, you're too busy being legendary. And now, every time they talk about you, their voice trembles, not because they hate you, but because deep down, they know you're free. Freedom is what terrifies them. Because people can fight anger, they can negotiate guilt, but freedom. Freedom means they have no control left. So when they circle back, voices soft, eyes desperate, saying, we didn't mean it. We miss who you were. You tilt your head, smirk, and whisper, then you shouldn't have killed that version of me. Because you didn't survive the betrayal, you absorbed it, you metabolized it, you turned poison into perfume, and now they choke on the scent of your evolution. You are not their mistake anymore, you are their memory, their regret, their recurring nightmare that wakes them at 3 a.m., whispering, we shouldn't have done that. And as they drown in remorse, you stand there calm, Untouchable, knowing the truth they never saw. They didn't break you. They just signed your initiation. They made you dangerous. They made you deliberate. They made you divine. So light your last cigarette with the contract you signed in their blood. Exhale the smoke of every promise they broke. Smile. Because they didn't build a monster. They built a god who learned to count.